Saludos a todo nuestro público de Expansión Musical y bienvenidos a este espacio en el que estaremos entrevistando a uno de los productores y raperos de hip hop cristiano en inglés más reconocidos, que de hecho hoy se está lanzando como artista en español. Con ustedes, Gawvi. Gawvi, ¿cómo estás? How are you?
Doing good, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
We're very honored to have you here. Sabemos que tienes un gran talento, como dijimos, para producir, para cantar, pero queríamos saber qué fue lo que te motivó a dedicar todas esas habilidades a proyectos principalmente enfocados en Jesús. So we know that you have a lot of talent producing music, rapping, so what motivated you to dedicate those talents and skills for projects mainly focused on Jesus?
Yeah, I must speak in Spanglish for you.
Okay.
La iglesia, mi papá era pastor. Mi papá es de El Salvador y mi mamá de República Dominicana.
Okay.
Yo nací en Nueva York. And my whole life, I just grew up in church, which was a lot, being a pastor's son. And yeah, my parents just raised me really good. I loved hip hop music and trap and all that. Mm-hmm. So when I was making music, I knew I wanted to speak about God. And that's how my life just kind of changed. It was always been about God. So shout out to my dad.
Wow, that's beautiful. ¿Y podrías contarnos brevemente cómo fue que conociste a Lecrae para luego formar parte de Rich Records? So can you tell us briefly how did you met Lecrae and started being part of Rich Records?
Yeah, eso comenzó en high school. Yo era un chamaquito just going all the time to the back of shows con un disco de beats.
Okay.
And I would sneak backstage and like 3 times I was like, Lecrae, please listen to my music. Y la tercera vez me agarró and he was like, Gawvi, I've been trying to get in contact with you, but when you give me a CD, you don't leave a contact information. Yo no sabía eso. I was just so excited. And yeah, from there, they flew me to their record label and everything's history. I worked with the
it was definitely God's plan, I think.
Yeah.
Y si tuvieras una máquina del tiempo y pudieras volver a cuando estabas dando tus primeros pasos en la música, ¿qué decisiones tomarías quizás diferentes? If you had a time machine and you could use it to go back in time, what decisions would you make differently back then?
Con la música, ¿verdad?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Like decisions related to music.
My first album, I was listening to a lot of people to make everyone happy. And I was happy, but I wasn't making music that was fully me. And I think now, you know, this album and the album before and the album before that one, I'm now. My first album, I was just scared. I was a new artist. I didn't know what I was doing, you know. So I would tell myself that before, I'd be like, "Hey, just be who you are, and God will make the way."
A great advice. ¿Cuáles son tus inspiraciones en la música urbana latina en general, tanto en el ámbito secular como en el cristiano? Which artists from the Latin urban music genre inspire you the most in general, both in genre and in the secular music genre?
There's a producer, se llama Tainy, de Puerto Rico, and he's my biggest inspiration.
Okay, he's awesome.
Yeah. So his business partner, Lecrae, I knew him since high school here in Miami. So I got to meet Tainy going to his studio because they work together. And that was a really cool moment because I'm really inspired. And you hear on the album, I'm very inspired by Tainy.
Yes.
So shout out to Tainy.
Great. Sabemos que antes de cantar eras principalmente productor, así que ¿qué te motivó entonces a comenzar a cantar también? ¿Y qué prefieres, producir o cantar? So we know that before singing you were exclusively a producer, so what motivated you to also start singing, and what do you prefer, to produce music or to sing and rap?
I never thought I was going to be an artist ever in my life. And well, I would always lay references, demos for all the other artists, and I would sing. And one day in my label, they just said, Gawvi, you should be an artist. I was like, yeah. And I started recording my own music, and poquito a poco, they were just like, yo, Gawvi, it's time. You need to be an artist and not just a producer.
Okay.
I prefer to just be a producer, but at the same time, I love being an artist because I love going on stage and doing shows. So I don't know which one.
Both.
I love it both. Yeah.
Okay. ¿Qué entiendes que le falta al hip hop cristiano para impactar aún más en la radio secular o like mainstream media? What do you think Christian hip hop is missing right now to make an even greater impact on the radio and mainstream media?
I think we have so much amazing artists, so much amazing producers. I think what's missing is more support to push the great music to like bigger platforms, if that makes sense.
I think that also happens in the Latin side of the equation.
Yeah.
¿Entiendes que con proyectos como tu nuevo álbum, Noche Juvenil, que fusiona la cultura latina con la cultura americana, entiendes que ahora van a haber aún más colaboraciones y unión entre el género cristiano latino urbano y el hip hop cristiano en inglés? So with projects like your new album, Noche Juvenil, that fuses Latin culture with American culture, do you think that it's just a matter of time before we start seeing more union and collaborations between Christian Latin urban artists and American artists?
Oh yeah. Eso ya está aquí ahora mismo. I saw Lecrae did a song with Funky, which was really cool to see.
Yeah.
And then me with this album.
I saw some collaborations.
Yeah, with Tommy Royale, Blanca, Maria Lara.
Yeah.
There's some really cool collaborations, and hopefully it keeps on going.
Yeah, let's hope so. Y cuéntanos del proyecto de Noche Juvenil, que te inspiró, que te llevó a hacer por primera vez un álbum completamente en español y a, ¿verdad?, incluir sonidos que son más clásicos en el reggaetón y en la música latina en general. Tell us about your new project, Noche Juvenil. What was the inspiration behind it? What led you to make an album completely in Spanish for the first time? And including the drums and the sounds that are usually more in reggaeton and in Latin music.
Yeah. I went to Spanish church my whole entire life. My first American church ever was like in high school.
Okay.
So that's all I ever knew. And we had this thing called Noche Juvenil, like everyone does.
Yeah.
And Noche Juvenil fue algo que, it was like, it was really corny. It wasn't cool, right?
Yeah.
And it was like 12 years old to 35-year-olds stuck in a small room.
Yeah.
And they tried their best to make it exciting for us, which I loved. But it was a consistent story that me and my friends, we all saw, which Noche Juvenil was just like, ay, yo, what are we doing? And now being older, me and my friends, when we talk about it and we laugh and we look back, we have great memories, but we're like, man, if Noche Juvenil would have looked like this, or Noche Juvenil would have been like this. And that's what I wanted to do with the album. I wanted to give the Noche Juvenil night that we all always imagined and wanted. So that's why you hear it with the skits, you know, like hay un pastor in the album. Está gritando, no queremos aretes.
I heard it, and I was like, this is ironic.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's
Great
just
idea.
Nostalgia, mixing old school with new school now.
Yeah, exactly. Y finalmente nos gustaría hacer rápido un juego de preguntas de escoge. Finally, we would like to quickly do a this or that question game. So, hamburger o tacos?
Depende de quién.
Okay. ¿De
Si
quién
es
lo
un hamburger de un chimi de Santo Domingo, yo me lo voy a comer de Cali.
De
Sí,
Taco Bell, no.
pero de Taco Bell no.
An afternoon at the beach or at the countryside?
Oh, the beach.
The beach.
That's where I'm gonna die. I need to be at the beach all the time.
Okay. Reggaeton o trap?
Oof. Both.
Both. Okay. Redimido o funky?
Ooh, hey, cuidado. Both.
Both, okay. Eminem o Jay-Z?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. iPhone o Android?
iPhone.
Reggaetón del 2021 o reggaetón del 2005? Like old school reggaeton.
Uy. I'll say now because there's still a lot of old schools coming in.
Okay. Bad Bunny o Daddy Yankee?
Daddy Yankee's like the king. Like he made everything possible.
Yeah,
So
he
you gotta say
invented
Daddy
the
Yankee.
word reggaeton. So before letting you go, can you please give a shout out to your Latin fan base and to our platform Expansionmusical?
Expansión. I love you guys. Thank you guys for having me. This is Gawvi, and I'm sharing love to you guys.
Thank you.
We're much over need.
Yes, and we're very honored to have you here. Thank you again, and we hope to see you performing here in Puerto Rico soon.
Yeah, let's go. Bring me out to Puerto Rico. I want to go.
Yes.
God bless.